Hi, fellow Franklin University DBA faculty members. This is the first of the three videos I referred to in my email so that we can have an overview in preparation for our meeting with the Higher Learning Commission and the Ohio Department of Higher Education on January 11th. Those of you that are giving your time willing to work with us and to visit campus or to be available by phone, I sure appreciate the fact that you've taken that time to do so. We're very anxious for this meeting. We're excited about the opportunity to offer our doctoral programs. And as you may or may not be aware, we've actually applied to offer 3 doctoral programs, the DBA, which of course you're all involved with. Then there's also a Doctor of Professional Studies in Instructional Design Leadership, and then there's a Doctor of Healthcare Administration. And there's some ways in which we've offered these programs together and ways in which they stand apart, and so we want to cover those as well. Now these 3 videos, this first one I want to give an overview, and I may refer to some things that we'll get into greater detail in the second or third video. The second video is about the curriculum and the courses, and the third video is about quality assurance, how we do assessment, design work, some of those sorts of things. Some of you will be involved in all those processes as well. But anyway, for this first video, I want to give a good overview of the program, how we put it together, what we were thinking, what we were planning, a little bit about Franklin University itself, and then how we think about our courses and put the doctoral programs together. I've got some points on here, and I'm not going to be reading to you the PDF that I sent. You can do that for yourself, but I want to give some highlights of those things. The first things I'd like to highlight are those 4 points at the very beginning where it talks about theory to practice, transfer credit friendly, the curriculum designed for working professionals, and fostering public and private partnerships. Those are hallmarks. Those are keystones of Franklin University. We have always done these very things. We are a theory to practice type institution, very much a practical application university. I've had students in the MBA program tell me before that they've learned something on a Tuesday night in class that they've used Wednesday at work. And so that's the idea behind what we're trying to do. We're trying to make this a very much a practical application degree program as well at the doctoral level. We are very transfer credit friendly. We accept credits at all levels of our education, and that's true also at the doctoral level. In fact, we think we've gone well above and beyond what most universities do. We're willing to accept up to 24 hours credit towards the doctoral program. I'll talk more about the details of how those fit into in the second video when I talk about courses and curriculum, but just understand that that's 24 out of the 58 credit hours necessary for a person to earn their doctorate here at Franklin University. So that's very transfer credit friendly, we feel. We design our curriculum for working professionals. That's who we have always worked with at Franklin University. It's persons who hold full-time jobs, work generally during the day, take classes in the evening, and work on their assignments over the weekend. That's very much the student that we serve today, and we anticipate that being very much the student we would serve at these new doctoral level programs as well. And then finally, the last point there, fostering public and private partnerships. We do that constantly. We try to put together partnerships, whether it's industry specific, education specific, whatever it might be, by discipline, however we can put together those partnerships. And we do that domestically and internationally as well. And I will talk a little bit more about our international partnerships because those can be very important to us in the DBA. We have had MBA students in several countries. We still are in an active engagement with Oman and Poland, where we're sending professors in. We're still serving students in Slovakia, Macedonia, the Ukraine, and Serbia, but we're doing those more on an online basis than the face-to-face online hybrid format. We still do the hybrid format with Poland and Oman, and many of the students who have graduated from all of those programs have expressed an interest in our doctoral programs as well. So we may have students who have been MBA students in the past become DBA students in the future, and we're anxious for them to have that opportunity and to work with them again in that way. These are students that already know us, they know our systems, they know the kind of education that we provide, and they want to add this credential as well. Speaking of adding credentials, we're thinking who our students might be would be those perhaps who are teaching now with a master's degree and want to add that doctorate credential. Or perhaps it's someone who is working in business or industry right now. They have an MBA that's maybe 15 years old, and they're wanting to pick up their skills, if you will, kind of spruce those up a little bit, but they don't want to come back and get another MBA, so they may have an interest in this DBA as well. We're kind of a regional university. We're located in Central Ohio, our main campuses, but we're co-located in several states at the campuses of several other institutions with whom we have partnerships. Most of our students come from that region. Ohio and the surrounding states is kind of the region that we really reach. We do have some international students that I've already mentioned. But in our our DBA program, we think those international ties might be a little bit stronger than perhaps in some of the other doctoral programs. So we want to take advantage of those where we can. We may have students who have done an MBA who are interested in healthcare administration, for example, and they would want to get into that program. But typically speaking, we're a regional university. We're very practical application. We work with working professionals, and that's kind of how we design all of our programs. The doctorate is no exception. You can continue reading through the information, the materials that I sent out, and you'll see some other information there. Among that is the admission requirements, and those are fairly typical admission requirements. You have to have a master's degree from an accredited institution, 30 hours of graduate business education in that mix. And so it's nothing unusual, nothing outstanding, nothing unusual about that whole circumstance. We do have a lot of international interest, however, in our programs typically, and we believe the same will be true for the doctorates. And so we do have the international standards there. Those are the same standards we use for our international students that want to study at the master's level, already a graduate degree. And so we decided that those were the same standards we would apply to the doctorates as well. Finally, if you look through all that, you get to a chart at the end of that, and it's called Shared and Integrated Synergies, and it lists the DBA, the DPS, and the DHA. And of course, those are the three programs that we've applied to offer starting in fall of 2016. The DBA is the one that we're specifically interested in. There are faculty members working on the DPS and the DHA programs as well. Look through that, see where the similarities lie. You'll see that there's some differences in the management area core as opposed to the other programs that they're offering. But generally speaking, we're trying to share as much of the resources as we can. I will also caution you at the end, it says a total cost of $4,600. That's based on our as-designed program of 58 credit hours and a $700 tuition cost. Tuition cost has not been firmly set by the board yet, but that is the number that they're addressing most recently, the one that I've heard. And the 58 hours is if the student performs, goes through the program as designed. If they need an extra semester for their dissertation, for example, there could be a little bit of an additional cost. But that gives everyone an idea of something to use as a basis. With that, the overview, I want to finish up the overview. Thank you again for your time, your interest, putting forth your energies into our doctoral programs. 2 more videos to follow, and so you can watch these at your leisure as you have time, as you have a few minutes here and there, 8 to 10 minutes apiece, and you'll be able to get through all of these. Thanks again. Look forward to talking with you later.